first down. Ryan. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up. That play.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And now he'll tuck it and run. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Now Ryan on second down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. Ryan will throw again. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 22, here's second and 8. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they'll run it here. Finding room inside the 40. Sheds off the tackle. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Lynch. Tack McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a give to Miller. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass it in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gun! Ready, set!
They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Looking downfield for... He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll be taken down at the 34. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. The third down battle won by Atlanta's defense. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
20. 21.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Gun. Ready. Back 25.
On second down, here's Ryan. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Hey, Rick Lance. Ready. Back 25. Hey, space. Go.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Oh, little 360. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Second down, here's Lynch. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Thomas, the intended target.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Gun. Hey, 51's the mic, ready.
Smith trying to run for it. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Ryan. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons are in for 6. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
That's fielded in the end zone. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deion Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. On 2nd down, Lynch. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got a man complete. And give him a gain of 37.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Lynch to throw. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now it's Lynch. And this one's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Ryan into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. Back to the air, Ryan after the pick 6. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan trying to lay one up deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Miller. Fighting through. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.